Um, let's start with what we need to expect over the next week. I know that you received a briefing from Secret Service. Can you give us just a sense of what they're preparing for and what we all as the public need to expect over the next 7 days?
So I think we'll expect to see it look very, very different over the next couple of days from prior inaugurations. We've spoken with, we've had briefings with Secret Service, FBI, and other law enforcement entities that are involved with preparing for the inauguration. They went through a kind of the prioritization of what has been different, what since January 6th, some of the additional changes that they've made to their plans towards the inauguration. And, at this point, I would also like to just take a moment to thank all of the National Guard's members who have come to Washington earlier than normally would be the case with an inauguration, including so many Guard members from the Commonwealth of Virginia. They are, as I believe you previewed in some of the photographs, surrounding the Capitol, in the Capitol, and working to make sure that that space is safe.
Yes, I mean, we've seen John was just saying that it looks like the green zone in Baghdad right now. I mean, that's the show of force. But I mean, scale of 1 to 10, because you have experience in your CIA background, how concerned are you that we'll see some form of repeat? Maybe not the level of what happened on the 6th, but something dangerous or destructive, and not just in the Capitol, but in the 50 U.S. capitals that have now been warned to expect something.
Well, I think the large concern that I have is not about a particular date. It's not just about January 20th. It's not just about this upcoming weekend where it's expected that there's going to be events, be they violent altercations or anything else at capitals across the country. The real issue that I think we need to focus on as an American people is that there is a violent and extreme ideology that has taken hold, that has been given safe harbor, if you will, in the political space. And we saw the results of what happens when that is able to fester and come to the forefront. We saw those results on January 6th. We're certainly preparing for those potential results over this weekend and at the inauguration, but it doesn't end there because it's an ideology. And my background, as you mentioned, I'm a former CIA case officer. My background is a focus on terrorism and the domestic violent extremists who took siege and executed a insurgent attack on the United States Capitol, an insurrectionist attack, are not just going away. And so that's something that we need to contend with. We're going to need accountability. We're going to need leadership, because really that's the long-term challenge that extends, frankly, far beyond the 20th of January.
Absolutely. They killed a police officer. I mean, that if that's not radicalized, I don't know what is. And I mean, I think that you're right, that in order to diffuse it, there's going to have to be a deprogramming. But I don't see that happening yet. Do you have any thoughts on how that can happen?
I'll take you back to November. So November, the election happened. Took a little bit, but the election results were called by the media. The election results were called because there was no path for Donald Trump to win. And then we moved forward and state after state began certifying their election. And in advance of, I believe it was December the 8th, which was the safe harbor date for all states to declare their winners, I had many colleagues say, well, I'm not going to acknowledge that Joe Biden won until December 8th, because that's the safe harbor day, just in case there's a change. And people in my district or, my base voters, they're just not ready for Biden to have won. So I'll wait. And December 8th came, right? And all of the states said, yes, here are the results. We've done recounts. We've certified it. Republican legislatures and Republican governors and secretaries of state said, yes, we've certified it. And then they said, well, we'll wait. December 14th, that's when the Electoral College is meeting and voting. Yeah. So, some of my base voters, they're not happy. We'll wait till December 14th. December 14th came. And many people chose still not to acknowledge Joe Biden as the president-elect. And then it was, well, we'll wait till January 6th. That's when we, as members of Congress, acknowledge it. And every step along the way, when they had the ability to tell the truth to their constituents, when they had the ability to say there was no steal, the elections occurred, as brave people such as the Secretary of State in Georgia, has done. When they had the opportunity, they didn't do it. And then in the lead up to January 6th, well, some people in my district feel that the results weren't fair. So they feel that way. So therefore, I'm going to contest the results. And so bit by bit, this is the problem, is when we have people in positions of leadership who do not use their voice, this is what happens. We allow people the space to fester and foster these conspiracy theories that there was some steal that they need to rise up to. And I would hearken to Jamie Herrera Butler, a Republican who voted for impeachment. The statement she said was, I am not choosing a side, I'm choosing the truth. It's the only way to defeat fear. And her words, I think, are so truthful and so important, because it is in that truth, in saying the truth to our neighbor, to our family members, having hard conversations within our communities, that we will be able to defeat what is an ideology that is based on lies and based on fear.
Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger, thank you very much for sharing all of your thoughts with us on this important day.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you so much.
This is